Good morning, everybody. Is mic on? Audio. Raise it. Good morning, everybody. Can someone confirm if you can see and hear me, please? Good morning. Good morning. Can someone? Oh, thank you, Jill. Okay, let's all start by saying a nice little prayer for Nicole because she's stuck in a whole tornado. Let me shuffle these really quick. I'm going to stay on about an hour and then I might hop on and do the hangout with me while I stamp all the bags. Actually, let me grab one and I'll show everyone really quick. Okay. All right, so this is the bag that the decks are going to come in if you ordered one. Kind of be like that, pushed out a little bit. That is the wax seal. So that is what I need to do today. So I might hop on a live and do that. Thank you. Taking a little longer than I anticipated. I probably should have got two stampy things, but we'll figure it out. All right, let me scroll back up here. Where did I start at? I started at 11. Okay. Is bloating from detox, diet, oatmeal, or underlying medical condition? Detox. Hold on, that's really far away. There we go. Detox, diet, underlying medical condition. Detox. Well, the Hanged Man coming out for detox, I would feel like no, not from that, because that would be a feeling of helpful surrender. So like detox, you're letting go of, what doesn't need to be in there. So that would be the surrender. Diet oatmeal, 3 of Cups. I feel like it's more leaning towards a third option, maybe not, or a fourth option, I guess, maybe not necessarily an underlying medical condition, but it feels like there's something else that's agitating your system, but not necessarily the oatmeal. Ace of Pentacles and Death, needing to make some kind of practical change. I mean, I guess it could be diet, just maybe not necessarily pinpointing at the oatmeal, maybe something else in the diet that's exasperating some kind of underlying medical, I wouldn't say medical condition. I would say more like something being like an itch that can't be scratched is kind of what I'm getting as a reference. Is tonight a win for me? No. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Is tonight a win for me for the card drawing, or should I pick two? And should I pick 2 or 16? See if we can get a 2 or a 16. Oh, I got 15. Oh, you're not able to see that. It's 15. Tonight a win for you though. 8 of Cups, walking away unfulfilled. The Fool. I don't feel like tonight necessarily, but I feel like 16 because that was 15. That's 1 away. So maybe not this time, but next time, 16. Do they have the right guy in custody for the unaliving of Abby and Libby? Oh boy, here we go. Where's the other deck? Is Richard Allen the right guy that took Abby and Libby's lives? 5 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Ace of Pentacles. I want to word this as it's bigger than just oh no, my mic unplugged. Okay, hold on. Make sure my audio is on now. Can you hear? Okay, you can hear me. Crap, what did I just say? I said I feel like it's bigger than just Richard Allen. I guess my mic died. It's bigger than just Richard Allen, but I don't feel like it's going to go there. So do I feel like he has a piece or a piece of it? Yes, but do I feel like he's the only one? No. Like there's some other element that's yet to be uncovered. And everything is just all over the place today. This isn't working. My mic isn't working. I lost my place. Message from spiritual community and a song. 7 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and the Lovers. There's a certain perspective that's in the works of changing when it comes to a past situation for you. The High Priestess. It's almost like you're in the midst of following some kind of spiritual breadcrumbs from your spirit team towards some kind of shifting of understanding. Taking a leap of faith on yourself towards understanding something from the past from a different perspective so you can free yourself. I split the deck to the Ace of Swords. So some kind of truth being uncovered by yourself that frees you from a perspective that was not serving you previously. Hold On by Chord Overstreet is the song. Did I pass the test? You said I was set up. I feel I did. And how does that free me up? Hanged Man, Queen of Pentacles. A test of surrendering yet staying grounded. Either keeping your feet on the ground even though you're striving for something. So like the energy of knowing you're working towards something but not letting yourself get too far ahead of yourself. So that feels like it would trace back to a wound that previously made you feel like you needed to prove who you were instead of just being who you are. And it feels like that frees you up to just show up unapologetically as yourself now. Yeah, 6 of Wands, a victory, a public victory. So you're showing up in all situations as the unobscured version of yourself, or the not dimmed version of yourself, because you were able to stay grounded and not get too far ahead of yourself in the process of some kind of healing, in which normally you may have felt anxious and wanted to rush through something. You sat with it instead. My uncle passed away this past Friday. I'm sorry. What was his cause of death? Does he have any messages for his loved ones? Cause of death. Page of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. I'm wondering if there was something that was like unknown, like an underlying medical or health condition that almost like was hidden, or like was maybe like something was addressed, but they addressed one thing and not the other thing that went with it. It feels like this was a buildup over a long period of time that just came to a head, I guess you could say. It doesn't feel like this is something that came out of nowhere. It was quick, but it also doesn't feel like something that was expected or like known about. So I guess I'd say like it's something his body was dealing with for a while that maybe he was not consciously aware of. That would be him. Stubborn. A family member, stubborn. Financial restrictions, misery, hoarding. Electrical communications. Almost like something that his body was holding that was causing like the, I almost want to word it as like circuits misfiring that was keeping something hidden. I don't know how to word that differently. I almost want to say it feels like something that he knew there was something up in some area, but like wasn't fully addressing it because not realizing the effect it was fully having. I had a peaceful passing and transition, and when you're missing me, cardinals fly around. So he is gonna send some kind of signs, maybe through birds, but it feels like that's more the message of like, because cardinals red, I'm grounded, I'm okay in my new place is essentially, even though it feels like it was very unexpected. What is my guide's message for me this week? King of Cups, the Fool, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, or Four of Cups. There's a feeling of showing up for yourself emotionally and staying committed to the decision that you initially make. So I'm emotionally either triggered, or I'm in my emotions, I'm feeling my emotions, I'm engaging with my emotions, and I make a plan of this is how I'm going to handle it. But then something comes to try and like sway you. Stick to the initial plan is the message. Stick to the initial way that you intend to handle something that rises to the surface. 9 and 2 of Swords. Something that you're not going to see coming is going to test your resolve. And as you continue to stay committed to your initial way to handle it, it feels like, what's that song? It's like, I'm in the eye of the storm. Who sings that? Caleb something. I'm in the eye of the storm and I've never been here before. That song is playing in my head. You're getting a moment of clarity in the midst of some kind of fogginess. What is that energy around seeing my mother at the wedding? 9 of Wands, the Tower, King of Swords. Okay, so see how like he's sitting there with the sword up in defense. He's sitting there kind of guarding himself. I don't know if this is another person or these are both you, but it almost feels like something tries to come in and get on the other side of something that you've healed. And the Tower's here. So in the past, this would have been triggering to you, but you know how to defend yourself, or you know how to defend your energy to not let it in. So there's a feeling of, how do I word this? You getting the opportunity to see how much healing you really have, even though it may seem unfair. You're looking at it from a perspective of like, okay, I could look at this as this person is triggering me, or I could look at this as my spirit team giving me the opportunity to show myself how much I've healed. Yeah, look at all this, like all the defensive type positions. It feels like you're going to need to be conscious of where your energy is, because there's something that's going to feel triggering, but you also have the tools to defend against the trigger. Do I have another gift I can use in conjunction with tarot? I feel like I'm always second guessing myself as far as if I'm getting the right message. Chariot, so two opposing forces working together. So right away, yes. Seven of Wands, King of Cups. So Seven of Wands would give me the energy of checking your work, or you're saying always second guessing yourself. This would give me the energy of like, I'm defending my work by checking it. King of Cups, I'm approaching this from an emotionally mature angle. I'm not saying that there's not another gift in conjunction with tarot, but what I'm seeing with this is finding another method that goes hand in hand with tarot to confirm the messages. Like kind of how when I use for true crime this deck that's like a oracle deck where I can kind of say, okay, does it mean this? And then I pull a card and confirm. It feels like approaching the way that you're wording the questions from different angles, because the gift is there. It's just you needing to get more confident with knowing, almost like a ping pong game, right? So like you're getting the message and then your team is like ping ponging you to go in the right direction with the cards. So your gift is not the cards are the tool. So finding a second tool to confirm that, just until you get more comfortable with, okay, I know when my guides say this, it translates to this. So I would say just finding some kind of oracle deck that is able to more directly confirm what you feel like you're getting from tarot, just until you get more confident with it, with the way that you're understanding the messages. How can I connect more with my inner child, and how can I do a Reiki healing to dispel any energy I'm holding inside? Nine of Wands, the Sun. Oh my gosh, Four of Wands and the Sun and the Tower. How can I connect more with my inner child? Four of Wands would lead me to believe like coming out, being seen. The Sun is also like shining the light on, and then we have the Tower. How can I connect more with my inner child? It feels like your inner child wants to, I'm just going to say, like, be in some kind of public setting where you're allowing yourself to experience joy, or you're allowing yourself to like express the parts of you that you typically only feel comfortable expressing in private, in terms of like the innocence and joy of the inner child. I almost feel like, for example, what I'm seeing, you know, those painting classes, like you go and you have a glass of wine and you paint or something, that maybe not that exactly, depending on what interests you, but it feels like something like that, where you're able to be out with your inner child engaged in some way, feeling like you don't need, I just want to say your inner child felt like you had to dim or remain hidden. So walking in the opposite direction of that fear would be something like being seen engaging in inner child activities in a public setting. It feels like that frees some kind of bungee that was holding you back, if that makes sense. Does DP truly mean what they say? The Moon, Two of Pentacles, King of Swords. The Moon coming out right away would lead me to believe that you're not receiving all of what they know, or like there's more that they could tell you, but they're not telling you all of it. Two of Pentacles, they're trying to make sure that things stay balanced, which would lead me to believe that whatever it is they're not telling you would throw things off balance. And then King of Swords holding up that sword in front of him in like a defensive place. It feels like, does DP truly mean what they say? It feels like what they're saying to you, they mean, but they're not telling you everything, or they're not explaining things thoroughly, like leaving things out. So I guess I'd say there's more to know than what you know, but what they say, it feels like they're meaning what they say, but there's certain things that they can't say because they don't mean, or they're trying to avoid saying things that would throw things off balance. Message from Spirit Guides. Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups reversed, Eight of Cups reversed. Three of Wands. It feels like there's something you're waiting for. It's almost like you're waiting for the external situation to shift. But in this situation, it's you taking action first that causes the external situation to shift. There's a feeling of not walking away from something prematurely or too soon. High Priestess and Two of Cups both in reverse. And the Chariot in reverse. I want to word this as, make sure you're getting everything you need to out of the current situation before moving forward in terms of a deeper level of understanding. Understanding what? Understanding the truth. Understanding the truth of a previous lesson and understanding that it was not a punishment, but it was something that was freeing you from a perspective that wasn't serving you. Will Alex talk to me again? Five of Pentacles and the Tower. Page of Cups reversed. I feel like it's going to be some time before there's any healthy communication. This would be like a long-standing battle. Tower, Page of Cups reversed. It feels like this person doesn't necessarily have, it's not a you problem. This is like, I feel like I'm not able to emotionally stand toe-to-toe with you, and that makes me feel inferior, so I need to run and hide type thing. I feel like it's going to be some time if that does happen. Yeah, they're protecting themselves from something. Protecting themselves from being seen, I guess I would say. Can I trust the person who I've grown a close bond with recently? Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Emperor. Queen of Cups. I want to word this as, even if this person isn't where they need to be in terms of trustworthiness right now, it feels like they see you as someone who they want to actually be trustworthy for. So like, almost like you're encouraging this person to step their game up and show up as who they say they are. But I feel like this is new for this person. So they may not have been trustworthy in the past always to people, but it feels like they want to show up differently for you. Now, that doesn't mean they'll be able to be perfect with it, because it feels like they're still working through some Knight of Swords, Four of Swords. Avoidance, communication barriers, avoidance, communication avoidance. They're working through that. What is H's opinion on my sleep meds? Two of Wands, Two of Cups reversed. 10 of Cups. King of Pentacles. You got to do what you got to do. And I feel like I'd say you got to do what you got to do. It's a good temporary fix until you get the hang of getting the sleep back to where it needs to be. Almost like it will allow you to reestablish a routine that then you hopefully won't need them in order to continue the routine. So I feel like a step in the right direction, but don't anticipate it being permanent, or like H would rather it not be permanent, but a time period to allow you to reestablish better sleeping habits. Will Jack's partner stay with him? The Fool in reverse. Four of Swords. Knight of Cups. Magician. It feels like there's something they need to talk through, or there's something that's going to come up that they're going to need to talk through. It doesn't feel like they're going to be on the same page about it. There may be some kind of temporary break here, or there's, yeah, Three of Cups reversed. There's some lack of working as a team, not being on the same page, not seeing eye to eye, one person trying harder than the other to work through some kind of communication issue. I feel like there may be some kind of temporary separation, or at least some kind of temporary lull that they have to work through. What do I need to hear to make my move to South Carolina smooth and easy? Five of Swords, Three of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, the Star. King of Wands. Planning ahead, something that feels outside of your comfort zone but helps you establish maybe some kind of community or some kind of routine. This doesn't feel like anything with the actual move. This feels like more of ease of mind or peace of mind, knowing that you have something to either look forward to or something to engage with there. The reference that I'm getting, and I don't feel like this is exact, maybe it is, would be like looking into maybe like a different, like a yoga studio or something, where you kind of will start to get incorporated in community. It feels like having that is going to help ease some kind of worry that you have that's causing like an energetic depletion. You want to protect yourself. It feels like there's a need to start to figure out ways that you could incorporate yourself into the community once you get there, to alleviate some kind of self-limiting belief that's causing energy depletion when it comes to the actual move itself, if that makes sense. Going to school for metaphysical sciences. Oh, cool. Do you see me getting into spiritual coaching, healing, or ministry? Spiritual coaching. Queen of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, healing. Hierophant, 9 of Wands, ministry. 8 and Queen of Pentacles. I think you have some options here. Getting into spiritual coaching. Spiritual coaching, I feel like, is something that you would enjoy doing long term because you really like talking about it. This spiritual coaching feels like something that you could talk about all day, like book an hour session with a client and be like, oh crap, that was 3 hours, didn't even notice, that type of thing. Healing. I feel like healing is something that you're able to do, and I feel like healing is something that other people will trust you, because spiritual healing requires, you know, the other person to have belief that it is going to work to heal them. It feels like you are able to, I don't know if convince is the right word, but like get people to understand that that it can work. Ministry, I feel like, is something that I almost want to say that would be my least option for you, because it's going to feel the most like work. Almost like there's some kind of lid on the potential taking that route, whereas the other ways you have more say or control over how you want things to go or look. I feel like the first two options leave you with the most control over how things unfold. Specifically, the spiritual coaching. Well, my mom passed from vasculitis, which has spread. Ace of Swords. That's interesting because it just kind of flipped over in the deck too, and I didn't take it. Ten of Swords. Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles. It almost feels like it gets worse, and then it gets a little bit manageable or maintainable, and then it feels like there's a period of time left, but it does feel like that's going to be something that is a factor when she does pass. But it feels like there's truth in what you just asked. Okay, there's validity to your concern. This feels like something getting worse before it being maintained or managed for a period of time, but then there being some kind of prolonged discomfort or like downward spiral type of thing. But it feels like this is slower moving. So it does feel like that's going to be a factor, but not, it doesn't feel like an emergency right now. Let's put the deck to the Hermit. I almost feel like you have thought something along the lines of, okay, I feel like I probably have about this amount of time left. And I feel like whatever the long, like if you said like a shorter and a longer one, I feel like whatever the longer one is, you're close with the time frame of that. Doctor saw a shadow near my unborn daughter's heart on ultrasound and wants to recheck. Is everything okay? What can we know about the shadow? Wheel of Fortune. Queen of Swords, High Priestess reversed. Okay, so new trouble or sorrow came out in reverse. Important decision. A new beginning or end. Total upheaval came out in reverse. Shadow near my unborn daughter's heart on ultrasound and wants to recheck. Is everything okay? I feel like it's not going to be something that is necessarily a concern, but I feel like it's going to be something that is like, I don't know, unexpected. This is like what they tell you it is. I didn't see that coming, but everything's okay. So I feel like everything's going to be okay. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like when they tell you what it is or when they recheck, you're going to be like, oh, that was weird. And then it's going to pass. You're going to move past it because it's not going to be a thing. Did Joseph S.A. my A.K.? We know about Joseph. Truth, coming and taking something from another person that was theirs. I would say there's some validity to that, yes. Ace of Wands would be a male body part. I would say there's validity to that, yes. Split to the 5 of Cups. Wondering if it was like SA, or if there's grooming and emotional manipulation. I don't know if it went as far as SA, but there was definitely something that was inappropriate or improper. That reads more to me like grooming or an attempt. Grooming or an attempt, or it could be what was intended by him didn't get to happen all the way. I'm leading towards something inappropriate happening, but I can't tell if it got as far as SA or if it just didn't get as far as he wanted it to go in that category, if that makes sense. Token, let's see. Long Time Coming by Justin Stone. And we have a looking glass. 100 and a looking glass and a long time coming by Justin Stone. It's like the stone rolling away because you've reached 100% of something that you're now able to see clearly. What is it? Oh, the moon in reverse, secrets being revealed. So that'd be you seeing clearly. 8 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Swords. You put something behind you, almost like an apology that you have not received that you deserve, or closure that you didn't get that you feel like it would be helpful. You're about to get another version of it. So like, let's say it was lack of closure because of another person. You're about to get the closure, but not through that person, or something to that effect. There's clarity in a past situation that frees you to go forward because you completed 100% of some kind of lesson, I guess, or like the putting down of energy that didn't serve you type thing. In my dream, when the cards were placed in my hand and communicated that I would know what to do with them, was that a benevolent being? It feels like maybe an ancestor or a guide that you're not aware of yet that was making their presence known for the first time. Eight of Wands reversed. We haven't talked before. I almost want to word it as like a guide or an ancestor that was sitting on the bench waiting for their time to step forward in helping you with a new understanding or to engage with some kind of talent and ability. It's like, I've been waiting, now it's my turn type of thing. Angel of Soulmates. I'm wondering if you had like 2 grandparents pass or an aunt and an uncle. This feels like someone that you were close with, almost like their spouse or something, like a partner of someone who's passed. Or I guess it could be if you had a romantic partner of your own that's passed, but it feels more like if you're close with an aunt, this would be the uncle. Or if you're close with a grandmother, this would be grandpa. It feels like that, like someone who's stepping forward in connection with another person that you're closer with, or another energy that you're closer with. How is my health? The Tower in reverse. Queen of Wands. The Empress. I would say something's improving where you're going to start feeling more, either more like yourself or more energy, more vitality because of some kind of nurturing that you've been putting into yourself. This honestly feels like physical health alleviation or progress because of mental or emotional health nurturing. Like you nurtured your mental or emotional health, and because of that, it's going to alleviate some kind of physical symptom that you were previously worried about, or at least lessen. What kind of life did our cat have before we adopted him? 4 of Wands, Page of Swords, Chariot reversed, 2 of Cups reversed. I don't know if the cat was like a street cat type thing, but this kind of gives me the energy of like, not a big fan of people, but I interact with my own kind, like other animals. Maybe even some neglect here, or some longing to be treated better, or like maybe extended periods of time in between food or something like that. It feels like there's a bit of like longing to be treated better and interacting with other cats more than humans, but not necessarily by choice. So like wanting to interact with humans more, but kind of only being able to interact with cats more. Messages from your guides. Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. You put up the proper boundary. You put up the proper boundary, and then the boundary was tested and you chose to maintain it instead of putting it down to make the other person more comfortable. And you made the right decision. Yeah, 10 of Swords. You avoided some kind of painful ending. 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups reversed, in which you would have felt like pushed out or on the outside looking into your own life. So the boundaries that you put up made it so that you did not lock yourself out of some kind of piece of your own progress, if that makes sense. And red light just came on as I said that. You stopped something in its tracks before it had the opportunity to negatively affect you, and you did the right thing with it. My doc scheduled an induction already for 38 weeks. He said he doesn't think I will make it to term. Is that all, or is he worried about something? Doesn't think I will make it to term. Is that all? Is it just because he doesn't think you will make it to term? 8 of Pentacles reversed, the Hierophant. Is he worried about something? Ace of Swords, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 2 of Wands, lots of Wands. Is he afraid I won't make it to term? I would say that is a valid concern. I'm committed to my belief that this would be lack of making it to term. Upright, this would be, I feel like you can push through all the way to making it to term. This is in reverse. 8 of Pentacles. You said 38 weeks. So I feel like there is a concern that you won't make it. And there's a feeling of, for some reason, being worried that's going to come on really fast, the labor or delivery. But it feels like there's also... It feels like there's a concern of, if we wait too long and it comes on fast, then I have a concern. Not necessarily doing it at that time because of a concern. It's more of like I'm doing it to avoid having a concern produced by waiting too long. Yeah, 4 of Wands. Celebration. It's weird because it's almost like I want things to go smoothly and I don't want to make the wrong decision and make myself look bad, as in the doctor. Or like I don't want to wait too long and cause some kind of panic situation that could have otherwise been avoided. I feel like it's more of not feeling like you'll make it and trying to avoid some kind of complication that would come from like a rushed process. Have the Pleiadians been working with my energy, and is there anything I can do to get clearer messages from them? Seeing this deck. Sacred inner space, sacral chakra, tenderness, and sensuality. 5 of Swords in reverse, Lovers in reverse, 8 of Pentacles. Staying committed. Is there anything I can do to get clearer messages from them? As you boldly step out as yourself, you're going to find clearer ways of understanding the coding that they're using to communicate with you. Teeth in a jar. Taking out my teeth before bed. Taking something out before rest. Sacral chakra. As you share more of yourself, you're going to receive more from them. It's not, you're not in the phase of, how do I even word this? The cup is full inside. Now you pour out the cup, and as you pour out the cup, more space is made and they pour back into the cup. Almost like, as you give of yourself, you receive more from them, because you are sharing of yourself is sharing of the message that they're putting through you. Any messages for me from my dad? In reverse, King of Cups, 4 of Cups, 3 of Swords. There's something recently that you did or were a part of or went to, or maybe it's something that's coming up. The message is that he's sorry he can't be there, but he's watching, or he's experiencing it with you. It's some specific something. Ace of Wands in reverse, Death in reverse. Almost like there's something that normally you, like if he was here, you'd be like, okay, this is exciting. I want to do this. I want to go. But there's like some sadness about it. But the message is that he wishes he could be there with you, and he is there, like living whatever this is with you. I watch over you every day. Well, that's the wrong deck, but maybe the gym has some significance. I see all of your thoughts. Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I see your worry, but I want you to enjoy it or have fun with it or experience it, something to that effect. He's there with you for that event that's either coming up or just past. Will my dad get remarried? It feels like this is a confirmation that the previous marriage, you said remarried, so the previous marriage ended due to some kind of lack of communication or lack of being on the same page. It does feel like there is another person that is going to be coming in, but I almost feel like with the High Priestess reversed, either he ends up marrying someone that you don't expect. So maybe like he dates someone, you're like, oh, this is probably gonna be the person, and then that falls apart and there's a different person. I do see balance being restored, but it's almost like needing to experience what he doesn't want before getting to find what he does. So I feel like eventually, but it's going to be some time. Will my 4-year-old start talking? Why hasn't she started talking yet? King of Swords, the Moon in reverse. Wheel of Fortune. So the Moon is often like my parasite, heavy metal detox type card. If you look up on Instagram, what is her name? The Detox Mama. She talks a lot about speech development and how the heavy metal and parasite detox can help with that, because that would be what that's pointing towards, looking into something like that. King of Swords coming out first would be speech, would be taking action towards correcting any speech imbalances. And then Wheel of Fortune is essentially saying that it is going to develop in a way that allows her to find her voice, but there is something that's blocking it right now. So I would say look into that. And also, I don't know what else could possibly help. It does feel like there, yes, but there's action needed to get it to happen. Additional action or action that hasn't yet been taken. Why is my dad so angry and treats me different? Is his mental health declining? Why is he angry? Chariot in reverse. Knight of Swords. I'm wondering if he knows something that he doesn't want other people to know about, maybe health, or it could be the mental health. Let's say if it is the mental health as opposed to like physical health, it feels like something he's aware of that's an issue, as opposed to just it declining and him not realizing it. It feels like there's something he is aware that's not going well and is avoiding dealing with it. Why does he treat you differently though? 6 and 8 of Swords. Why does he treat you differently? Because you could come up with a solution, but he's comfortable being trapped in whatever. It feels like he knows something's going on with him and doesn't want anybody to know, and you would be the one to actually make him do something about it or try to come up with a solution, and he's avoiding that altogether. He doesn't, almost like finding comfort in not having a solution. What does JH think about me after our breakup January 2 years ago? So be two forces not working together. This is I'm staying committed to the final decision that I made. 5 of Cups. I feel like this person believes that the right decision was made when the two of you went separate ways. Ace of Swords on the bottom, so some kind of truth. I almost feel like this person believes that they just would have brought you down, or that they weren't able to offer you what you would have wanted from them, and them having to admit that would have been triggering to them. Message on my soul's purpose here. To continue standing back up after having to, no, I'm going to word that differently. Scratch that. You've seen very dark parts of the world or other people, and your purpose is to not become like what was shown to you, and to kind of be like the last one standing type energy, in terms of, okay, life took its best swing to try and knock me down, and I stood back up again. Now watch what I do with it. Eight of Swords to Wheel of Fortune. You're going from trapped to taking back control. You're going from the environment controlling you to you taking control over the environment after witnessing what you're capable of, from continuing to offer love, even though you've been shown so much darkness by others. Will my brother-in-law enjoy his new job? I feel like it's something he's going to do well at, or be good at, maybe even better than he anticipated himself. Like something maybe that will come a little bit more naturally than he expected. But at the same time, it feels like a transitionary or like a temporary type of thing. Almost like it's the closing out of a chapter, and whatever he does next will be a little bit different, or a little bit more responsibility or something. It feels like a step in the right direction that he's not going to enjoy long term, but is something that's needed as like a transition type of thing. What do guides want you to know in the song Token? There's a situation coming up that's going to require you to maintain some kind of clear boundary, because it's offering love to yourself. It's like the whole situation is unfolding so that you have the opportunity to show yourself that you are who you say you are when it comes to your ability to set and maintain boundaries, because you healed fear of failure. You've healed fear of failure. You're not putting down your boundaries at your own expense because of feeling like anyone that you lose is a loss. It's like you're realizing that if you set and maintain boundaries and people can't respect that, then they just aren't meant to be on the other side of those boundaries anyway, if that makes sense. Umbrella. I forgot what that was called for a second. When it rains, it pours. It may feel like this comes in quick, like, oh, I need to set a boundary, sets boundaries tested, and then it washes away. It's like a quick in and out testing of boundaries. Should I continue channeling for others? Page of Wands is all about self-exploration. 8 of Cups is reversed, so not walking away. Don't walk away from it yet. But 5 of Cups and the Chariot reverse, there's something that's working against your belief that you're ready for this. So it feels like looking into what in yourself may be causing you to feel that it's not the right decision, because it's not that channeling for others is not what you should be doing, because I feel like it is, but I feel like almost like now that you're channeling for others, you're able to more deeply understand the messages that you're receiving, and there's a message that you need to receive about yourself so that there can be further healing, so you can feel more ready to deliver the messages as effectively as you're receiving them. So it feels like some kind of healing around the throat chakra, unhealthy coping mechanisms, and humiliation wounds. Oh, it's possible you're fearing misinterpreting a message and ending up embarrassing yourself, but there's a need to recognize that the way that you deliver the message is how that person needs to receive the message at that time. Even if the message could be worded differently or could be expanded upon differently, there's a reason that your guides are handing you what they're handing you and stopping you when they're stopping you. So learning to trust that is the message. So not that you should stop, but just that you should also be taking time to look into, from doing channeling for others, what's coming to the surface for you that needs to also be looked at. I'm going to start looking to see if there's anyone I did not get yet. My daughter recently became engaged. Will she be able to work out a new custody arrangement that supports her plans, or is this going to be a battle that stands in her way? I feel like the other parent that she'd be battling with may try and do some kind of low blow or threaten some kind of like all bark, no bite type thing. Or maybe tries to bite and doesn't work. So like it feels like there may be some pushback in the beginning that quickly dies out. It feels like there's going to be a solution in her favor, but almost like there's going to be some kind of attempted Seven of Wands reverse, Nine of Wands. It's like I try and throw something and it doesn't stick, or I try and knock over your house of cards and it doesn't stick, as in the other person to her. Not that she has a house of cards. I worded that wrong. The other person tries something and it does not work, or tries something and quickly gives up. So it's not something that's going to be a long-standing thing, but there is going to be at least a little animosity from the other person at some point. But then with Strength, it feels like there's a solution that is reached. It feels like it doesn't get to the point of having to really go like fighting in court. So I don't know if that's like mediation or like a last minute agreement type of thing. Should I talk to my brother about cutting off my family? Eight of Wands in reverse. No. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Swords. I don't know if you're meaning at the wedding. I would say not at the wedding. It does feel like there's a conversation that's a long time coming that should be had, but right now, not yet. Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. I want to word this as when the two of your paths cross again after the wedding. What is the long-term outlook of my situationship? Justice in reverse, the Star, High Priestess in reverse, King of Swords. One of you is going to end up being interested in someone else. This is kind of like I didn't see this person coming, but they catch my attention and I start to pull away. I almost feel like this is the other person. I feel like the other person eventually starts to pull away, and it's because someone else has their attention. Oh, I'm down to the I couldn't hear you ones and I thought you meant now. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess I need to charge that. I lost my place. Will the hysterectomy solve my health problems, or is there a possibility of an autoimmune disease? Hysterectomy, autoimmune. I feel like you should have it, but I don't feel like it's going to completely solve everything. I feel like there's an additional something that's going on here. Almost as if, and I don't know if this is exactly like the right way to explain this, but almost it's like the hysterectomy knocks down a wall and then there needs to be like a clearing of what's behind the wall. I feel like that's what a hysterectomy is, though. So I feel like there's something additional that needs to be judgment in reverse. So that's not the final step. Something additional that needs to be worked through, but almost like it would be better worked through after the completion of the hysterectomy because it gets that issue out of the way, if that makes sense. I feel like there's more than one thing that's going on there. I'm going to stay on about 10 more minutes. Will my sister ever find a good guy? She's always attracting bad ones. From manipulation, almost like there's certain karmic lessons that she's completing, and that's why she keeps aligning with people who are being manipulative to her. But the Four of Wands would be a healthy and happy commitment. It feels like a little bit of time away. Yeah, 10 of Wands is reversed. So putting down the commitment that she eventually makes will be one of putting down a heavy burden that was created from the manipulation of previous partners. So who she does eventually find, it's almost going to be like, oh, okay, I understand why I had to have those lessons before you because I know that you would never manipulate me in that way. So eventually, yes, but it's going to be some time. Curious, what is the karmic lesson she has to work through? The main karmic lesson. Oh, past life wounds. That makes sense. So wrapping up karmic lessons from past lives about knowing her worth and learning to say when enough is enough. I'm not going to put up with your crap anymore. I'm going to let you go and move on, type of thing. I'm trying to see if there's anybody I did not get yet. Message from my spirit guides. Lovers, Knight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups reverse. You're about to get some kind of clarity here about a message that previously did not make sense. Almost like someone tried to cut you emotionally with their words or lack thereof, and you're about to understand fully why you had to have that experience. You're learning about your ability to trust. I want to word this as your third eye, almost like you had some kind of intuitive hit that you were about to have to deal with something, and then it happened. And this was all like a package to help you see how your intuition works, or how your spirit guides speak to you through your intuition, I guess I'd say. Will I get good news from my test that I had recently? I'm nervous about it. The World, Eight of Swords, King of Cups, King of Swords. It feels like the answer is coming, or is going to take longer than you anticipate it, or maybe it already is taking longer than you anticipate. The World would be a completion of a cycle. The King of Cups restoring stability here. Knight of Cups underneath of it. Pentacles. If it's something that's like a range where it's like, are you high or low on something? There's a possibility for something to be a little low, but not low in terms of like if the range is normals in the middle and then highs here and low is here, you're in this range of normalcy, but maybe a little low, or maybe it's going to take a little longer. But it does feel like you're completing some kind of cycle of worry. So yes, good news, but not perfect news, I think I'd say. Any message from my father, Sean? There's a need to let yourself process the feelings and emotions that are really building up when you are alone, but you're trying to hide for the sake of others. It's like you're trying to be strong for someone specific, but you're draining yourself in the process. Trapped away from some kind of communication. I want to word this as there's a conversation that he's encouraging you to have, because you are the version of yourself that will show up to this conversation in a way that will bridge the gap. I don't know how that translates to, but you're going to show up to the conversation in a way that allows you to bridge the gap. Even though I'm not here in the physical world, I can feel your loving warmth, and I hope you feel mine too, and we will be together again. I feel like he would say something like, you remind him a lot of himself. He sees a lot of himself in you as well. Beast of Burden by the Rolling Stones is the song. Need to go back in for testing. Two of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands. Well, the truth about self-exploration that you previously disengaged with. High Priestess reverse, something remaining to be seen. I would say to go back in and complete that would be a good idea. My sister has been on my mind a lot lately. Any message from her and a song from your sister? You made the right decision from something or someone that you disengaged with or from. Can't remember if this is a reading that I posted this morning or the one that got deleted, but I did a reading and I said something about they are not your, how did I word it? They are not your responsibility. Something about you knowing when you were unable to change someone else's perspective or mind or decisions, and you made the right decision to disengage from it. Almost like you took the path of more resistance and more difficulty because you knew that that's what you needed to do to protect yourself energetically or emotionally. King of Pentacles. Yeah, you stayed grounded. Pentacles, Pentacles. You protected your growth here. Whatever decision you made to disengage from someone or something has protected your growth in a way that you can't even comprehend from your perspective, but she's letting you know from her perspective. This would be her community celebration. She's celebrating your decision to remain like not benched, like you're in the game on your own team, and that was difficult. I have always loved you and always will, and look up to the sky and she sees shapes. That's where I send you messages. I feel like you're going to start to see some kind of recurring sign from her, and the message is reminding you to celebrate yourself. Oh, look, scissors. I said something you disengaged with or from. Will Kay get a girlfriend soon, or should he wait till after he's finished school? Queen of Swords reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Devil. I feel like he may get a lesson in what he does not want, someone who does not know how to communicate as efficiently as he would like or as healthy as he would like. And Queen of Pentacles reversed, maybe someone who's not very, you said he's in school, so maybe someone who's not as focused on school, or maybe someone who pulls his focus away from school. I feel like it's better to wait till he's finished school, with some awareness that he may find someone that he's going to have to choose to walk away from because they might not be who they initially appear to be. It feels like there's some kind of incoming lesson in what you don't want, and being able to let go of that to make space for what you do want. And I feel like with the Devil, it's probably better to wait till after school. It almost feels like it's going to distract him in some kind of like relationship drama, I guess, or something like that. Will I get an interview soon? Ooh. King of Swords, the World, Knight of Cups. It feels like when you do get an interview, whomever you talk to ends up offering you some kind of position. If you're asking about a specific place, I feel like it's going to take longer than you anticipate, but there is something else that you could get sooner. And if you're not asking about a specific place, then I would say widen up where you're looking or change how you're looking. It's like there's something available sooner, you're just not seeing it or haven't engaged in that avenue yet. But I do see an interview coming that you end up getting the offer of a position for. But the speed of that is going to depend on like approaching the job applying process differently, I guess. These are this. Idyllis Tarot. Amazon. I think it was like $10 too. I like the size. This is my favorite size because I have small hands, so I can hold the full deck. Oh, as I drop the full deck. I'm gonna do about 5 more, and then I'm gonna hop off to start doing bags. Let me get some of these. Did M project issues on me? Is she mentally unwell? In order to protect myself, Knight of Swords reversed. I don't want to send the message of what's going on with me. I want to not commit to looking internally. I want to flip it. King of Cups. King of Wands reversed. Did M project issues on me? This to me reads like I'm dealing with something that I don't know how to communicate. So I throw a piece of it at you to see how you handle it so that I can then create the blueprint of how I'm going to deal with what I don't want to talk about. So a long-winded yes. Is she mentally unwell? I don't read that necessarily as mental health, although that may be there, but it's just not what I'm picking up on. What I'm picking up on is intentional avoidance of unhealed emotions that they don't want to face. Can that lead to like mental unwellness? Yes, but I feel like it's stemming from emotional avoidance. It feels like this person has people around them who enable this, though, like people who allow this person to be emotionally avoidant. Do I know my soulmate already? Can you please tell me about him? There's someone that you were with in the past that made you feel like you had to run from yourself. The person that you end up with feels like the opposite, or like you'll look at the past person like, oh, I dealt with this and this so that I could really appreciate this person showing up this way for me. So it's like this person is the blessing that has resulted from the hard lessons of past lovers. High Priestess, Death in reverse. This is someone who's willing to stay committed, and I don't feel like this is someone that you know yet, but I feel like this is someone that's going to feel very familiar when you meet them, even though you don't know them yet. This feels like someone who's very level-headed and very calming. They have very calming energy. Almost like you may feel like, is this person too calm for me? And then you realize that they actually balance out the energies between the two of you very well. Did my aunt deliberately rip my family from me? Page of Pentacles in reverse. Someone who should be trustworthy that is not. Eight of Wands reversed. Manipulative communication. King of Swords would be, I'm speaking manipulatively to confuse people, and I can't be trusted. I would read that as a yes. I really want to establish my roots and create community. I literally looked up, oh, perfect, yoga studios and metaphysical stores. Yeah, and I want to sell my jewelry there. I'm also wondering if they have like little craft shows or something like that. Like my dad makes wood crafts and he does craft shows and they often have like jewelry and stuff like that. I feel like maybe even something like that may be something to look into. I started hosting my own bingo games. Will I be successful? Oh, I started hosting my own bingo games. Will I be successful? Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Knight of Swords reverse. I feel like there's something in strategy that needs to be shifted. The opportunity to be successful is there, but something, Four of Swords, I almost want to word this as like something in the foundation needing to be built up before it has the opportunity to really start taking off. Knight of Swords is reversed. So I feel like maybe the way in which the word is getting out about it is what needs to kind of be pushed more or differently. Eight of Cups in reverse. Eight of Cups upright in Temperance. There's something in the planning that needs to be shifted when it comes to how people are going to find and get there and hear about it. But then after that is shifted, it has the Four of Cups is the opportunity or the option for it to be successful. Birth time, let's see. If I get a 1 to 12 for the first and then a 0 to 59 for the second. We have 8. $823. I have a confirmation of 823. Queen of Swords reversed. Page of Wands. Something you weren't told that helps you know about yourself. 823. 8:23 a.m. Give me Cups. High Priestess reversed. 8:23 p.m. Queen of Pentacles. Wasn't told. Grounded. 8:23 p.m. I would say I'm like 60% confident about that, not 100%. What is behind the RH negative blood type? Seven of Cups reversed. The Hermit. Seven of Wands reversed. Clarity on, see how the Hermit in this deck is like holding that little star in the hand and she's looking at it. Clarity on remembering 5D information or being able to, this is like, I don't need to defend it, I just understand it. The receiving of higher information in a way that's automatically translated and doesn't have to be consciously translated. How do I word that differently? Almost like if you're in a car and there's automatic or there's manual. It feels like when it comes to spiritual downloads, this is like having the car in automatic, whereas without it, it's more of a manual. You have to figure it out and shift it into the right place. But this allows it to just come naturally and be understood, I guess, is how I'd word it. Do you see health improving for me? King of Cups reverse. Three of Pentacles reverse. Knight of Wands. I feel like there's some kind of action or treatment that is going to come in that will be helpful but is not yet available. Or is just waiting for you to find it. Page of Wands, waiting, self-exploration, waiting for you to find it. I see improvement that comes from either you thinking outside the box or finding something else to bring in to incorporate deeper healing. So I do see improvement, but it's like you have some kind of direct role in the improvement as opposed to you going somewhere and them telling you what to do. This is like you hands-on. You're like, no, I'm going to improve this. And then you figure something out. Oh, he believed she was asleep. What did I say? It didn't get all the way to what he wanted it, or I feel like her being asleep would make sense. I'm wondering if he realized she wasn't asleep. Maybe that's what went wrong. Page of Cups in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. Putting down a heavy burden. Misusing a child. Yeah, heavy burden. I almost want to say it stopped sooner than he wanted it to. Like a premature ending to whatever he intended. Scroll to the bottom, see if there's anybody I didn't get at all. Nobody says if that makes sense. I know I say that so much and I try to not to, but then I'm like, what if it doesn't make sense to them? Should I be concentrating on career path A or B? Career path A. B. Huh. I feel like you are focusing more on A right now and you feel stuck or limited. You can push past that limitation by some kind of dedicated action. Career path B. Career path B feels like something that's going to show up again later or in a different way. So almost like A is the right option, but you end up using a piece of B in some way because there's something that feels like a part of you with B. So I feel like A, even though it requires you to push past some kind of perceived limitation, but you end up using maybe like the talent that would be path B, or like a connection from path B. You end up using path B in some way. It's not all the way over, but there's a need to disconnect from it because there's something that feels like you that you need to bring with you into path A. So path A, but pushing past some kind of limitation. We Want It by Ohana Bam. It doesn't have lyrics. We want it. You have to, it's almost like path A is giving you resistance so you can show yourself how badly you're willing to fight for it. Okay, I'm going to do two more and then I'm going to hop off and set the decks up. Message from Mom about Sister J. do I word this? It feels like, to some extent, Sister J is not recognizing how her actions or lack thereof, or communication or lack thereof, has affected someone else. Or it may be that you're desiring to have some kind of communication and don't know how to approach it. The message from your mom is that even though it feels like you wish things could be different, or you wish you could maybe make some kind of change in the situation or do more, maybe you're playing the exact role that you need to play. Not play, but like, you're holding the space that needs to be held for the next steps to unfold naturally without feeling forced. 8 of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands. You're creating the space for some kind of healing message to come through. I just want to word it as like, you're making Jay feel like it's safe to express when the time is right. I am just a thought away. I keep grabbing the wrong deck. I know you feel so much hurt and pain, but I promise it's going to get better. I feel like that's for Jay. Don't doubt the impact that you have just by showing up as yourself, is the message. Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra is the song. Worried about my upcoming procedure and results. What can you know about the procedure and results? Temperance in reverse, Strength in reverse. You're correcting some kind of imbalance and giving yourself the opportunity to feel like yourself again, feel more energized again, but there is going to be some kind of, I'm just going to say, like, extended healing period, or like on the longer end of whatever they're telling you the healing period would be. So not necessarily longer than what it should be, but on the longer end of what they tell you it's going to start taking to get back to it again. I feel like the procedure in itself is going to go fine, but I feel like healing may be on the longer end of what they're saying. Yeah, it's going to take a little longer to get to feel like yourself again. And there may be, that may pose some kind of struggle for you. You may feel frustrated. You may feel anxious. You may feel like, okay, am I ever going to get back to it if I don't feel like it yet? So I feel like needing to be very mindful of not letting your thoughts run away from you in the healing process, and being patient with yourself. But I do feel like it is going to go well. I'm going to do one more. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody I didn't get yet. I've gotten everyone at least once, right? Oh, the big book, probably in about 2 weeks. As soon as I get all the decks out, I'm finishing that. I still have a couple things to finish, mainly just the back pages, because it's like an oracle book. I'll make a video explaining that soon, but it's an oracle book. I just have to do like the back 10 pages and then I'm done, but they're taking me forever. Okay, let me close my eyes. Okay, last one. Cards around my brother and my relationship. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Two of Pentacles. It feels like someone is feeling like they're on the outside looking in, or like a wallflower. I almost feel like this is you. Someone eventually coming out of their shell is going to make it so whoever feels like a wallflower doesn't feel like they're on the outside anymore. But it feels like that person is dealing with something or is in the process of identifying what's causing them to show up in the way that they are. Judgment and Seven of Swords. Someone is self-sabotaging and going against their better judgment with the way that they're handling something, but it's going to pass and there's going to be some kind of balance restored, but it needs that person to recognize how their choices are affecting their own relationships, I guess, or like how their choices are affecting other people and the other people's relationship with them. I feel like you're the wallflower and it's someone else who's dealing with that. Okay, everyone, I may hop on in a couple minutes to do the stamps if I can get everything set up. Thank you to my mods. Mods, I know that I asked you all to email me. I'm getting them hopefully out this week, the process of doing these bags. A little bit longer than I anticipated. But yeah, so I might hop on to do that. There are still spots left for the second pre-order, which I think is going to be here between the 7th and the 9th. The other ones should be here tomorrow or the following day. All of my links are in my Stan store. If it's not linked in there, it's not me. There is the Mod Ren Facebook linked in there. There's all my socials linked in there. If it's not one of them, it's not me. I think that's all. Okay, thank you to my mods for being here. Thank you to everyone for being here. I'm going to be on for another live at least one more time this week, maybe twice. I will see you then. Oh, and I might hop on for the bags in a couple minutes if I can figure out how to set everything up. Okay, bye everyone. Oh, that's the wrong button.